Faraja TV, authentic African voices.
It's in the process. Please be quick.
Hello, good morning. My name is Julia Emma Moronji, and standing before you, I proudly nominate Hannah Teresa Ampire for the role of Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Seconder? Can we have a seconder? So the person who has been nominated, after she speaks, ensure that you also come, share your manifesto in under 5 minutes.
Good morning. My name is Iva Letitia Lumumba, and I second Hannah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, once you're here, ensure that you're audible enough. Well, this event is being live streamed, so we need to hear what you're saying properly.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. My name is Hannah Teresa Amompare, and I'm standing before you aspiring for speakership of this house. I am a third-year student at Makerere University Business School, pursuing a Bachelor's of International Business, and I also serve as the 28th Gender Minister. The youth today cover about 77% of the population. What does that mean to each one of us in this room? It means we all have a calling. Everyone says that the youth are the future, but I want to say that you are the now, that the narrative has to change. If we want to rebuild the governance structures, if we want to rebuild systems, if we want to change what you are tired of seeing, then it begins with you. And I want to appreciate each one of you for coming today and taking up that seat in this house to be able to debate on pertinent issues that concern the young people. Please, let this not be where you stop, but rather let it be your starting voice, okay? My manifesto is in 3 words. It's voice, it's vision, it's action. Every great idea begins with a voice and starts with a voice. So if we can be able to put out our voice there, then we can be able to start with a change. If we can be able to have a vision for the kind of world that we want, for the kind of continent that we want, for the kind of country that we want, it starts with the voice and it starts with the idea. But it does not stop there. It also goes to action. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that this will...
Thank you very much, Hannah. I hope we are noting and listening. Yes. If for a speaker, please step forward, say your names, and nominate the candidate for the position of Speaker of Central Youth Parliament. We're very humbled for the visitors that are joining us and partners, and they'll be introduced later on. Please proceed.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I am Nikamure Elisa Mawani. The mic is tall for me. Okay, so I guess height is not a disability. Anyway, I am Nikamure Elisa Mawani, and the candidate I nominate is a 4th-year student at Makerere University. He's an outgoing Guild Prime Minister of the institution. He's also served as the Minister of Environment, and he's an active community member who organizes and works for the New Bold Africa Resilience. So the candidate I choose to nominate today is Rodney Adroni. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we have somebody second that nomination? Yes, please. And Mr. Rodney Adroni, Is he in the house? Is he here? Yes. After he seconds you, please step forward. We have not had the seconder. Yes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nijal Gaga John, and I'm here to support and second the nomination of Andre. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rodney Adroni, please step forward.
Good morning to each and every one of us. Good morning, honorable delegates. Do we have Honorable Byanyima Winnie in this room? Please, she could raise her hand, just briefly. Please stand up. It was her birthday yesterday. Could we please send her flowers and celebrate her in a special way? Happy birthday, Winnie. We celebrate you. May good things happen for you. Now, allow me to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude for having been accorded the privilege of addressing this honorable house. Indeed, it's an honor that I deeply relish and hope to make every second of it count. Now, I'm fairly certain that the majority of us in this room right here are well acquainted with the role of a Speaker of the House, who is expected to exercise their mandate, taking into account the principles of equity and inclusivity, but above all, exercising their mandate within the parameters of the law. And so we've been tasked to present our manifestos to this honorable House and to present and do. However, I believe that the bigger question for us to respond to is how all of us can contribute to every young person out there, how we can transform their lives. It is not just about an individual, it is about all of us. Reflecting on that and more, I am one of those with the unshakable belief that every young person out there, irrespective of where they come from, irrespective of whether they have a disability or not, irrespective of whether they are male or female, all deserve a fair shot at an affordable education. I'm one of those that believe that every young person out there deserves easy access to credit to have a business startup. I'm one of those that believe that every young folk out there deserves a decent shot at attaining a meaningful employment if they are to be able to get by in this economy. Now we can go on and on and on in perpetuity because the list is endless. However, today we are uniquely positioned to play a contribution in our time through the laws that we are going to propose, through the recommendations that we are going to make, but it all starts with us making the right decisions. And we indeed owe it to every youth out there to make the right decisions in here. Honorable colleagues, the first important decision that we are going to be making today is voting the right candidate for Speaker. So that is what I believe in, that is what I stand for, and the very premise upon which I continue and be at the helm of this House and steer it in that desired direction. I will conclude with the words that Nelson Mandela said in 2005 as he was addressing the youth in the United Kingdom. He said that it falls upon a generation to be great, and we can't be that great generation and let that greatness blossom. I am more than certain that this is our time to be great. This is our time to make our contribution, so let's make it happen. I thank you very much. I remain Adroni Rodney, aspiring for Central Youth Speaker. May God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other nomination for the position of Speaker of this House? Yes, please. Please ensure to keep time. Time is running very fast against us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eugene, the outgoing speaker. My name is Monica John Albert, and I am here humbly requesting the House to close the nominations. Thank you so much.
In that regard, please wait. Mr. Albert, if there are no more nominations, please move the motion to have this nomination process closed.
I move the motion that we close the nominations for now.
Thank you very much. So there have been 3 candidates that have been... Thank you very much. You're paying attention. Can we have a seconder to that motion? Please step forward and second the motion to have the nomination process closed.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Good morning, everyone. My name is Betty Takali, and I stand to second the motion to close the nominations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thank you for that wonderful exercise. We are going to count the participants present for purposes of credibility. So we will say 1 up to the last person, such that the votes have to tally. Not so? Yes. We don't want instances where we have ballot papers more than the people in the room, or less ballot papers. So you'll say 1 as we continue. So we have 49 members present. Yes, please. Come again. They have just come in. So that is 50 and 51. 51. No more members coming in. So we will go by 51. Make sure you write the name of the candidate. We do not want invalid votes. It is your right to vote. Do not spoil the ballot paper. We have 3 candidates. The first one is Kakoza Derek. The second one is Ampire Hannah Teresa. The third one is Adroni Rodney. Yes, so make sure you write the correct names. please make sure you hide your ballot. It's a sacred ballot. And do not be coerced. Must be freely from your heart. So, sacred ballot. I don't need to see people whispering. I'm very sure all these candidates reached out to you, and you know them. They have shared with you their manifestos. How many people haven't received ballot papers? Okay. We shall still have to verify the ballot papers. Can we ask the candidates to step outside? Humbly requesting that the candidates, after casting your vote, you step outside. Thank you.
Also, by the power vested upon me as the speaker, the former speaker of this house, I nominate Namutebi Winnie to be the sergeant at arms. She will ensure that we have a very well coordinated house, moving the microphone around, but I'll also be there to assist.
Yes. So we are going to count the ballot papers. Can we have the people who nominated these candidates step forward? The people who nominated, the delegates. We have to ensure that there are 51 ballot papers. Not so? Yeah. Can we have the nominator for Adroni step forward? Okay, we are counting. Let's all be vigilant.
Rodney. Thank you. Hannah. Derek. 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 Adjoni. Derek. Hannah. Derek. Okay. Derek. Derek. Rodney. Derek. Adjoni. Derek. 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 Okay. Adjoni. So they wrote it. Finally. Derek. So we can now count. You give me one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 votes. Derek. You still have to count. Hannah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 votes for Hannah. You have to count. You have to count in silence. Adjoni. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Thank you very much. I'll hand over to the speaker.
34, 11, and 6.
Okay, we could have, yes, we could have probably the nominees come inside. Can we have them inside? Yeah, but a brief summary. This is how the tally came out. Kakoza Derek had 34 votes. Adjoni Rodney had 11 votes, and Hannah had 6 votes. So by the power vested upon me, I declare that Kakoza Derek is now the Central Youth Parliament Speaker. Please, Mr. Kakoza, come forward.
Wow. The pressure was too much. Once again, I want to thank you so much, the delegates, and I want to say one word or one sentence, that whatever I've promised, I'm going to fulfill it. The fact that I've been in this parliament, this is second time, and I know how things work, and we've interfaced with most of the stakeholders, like Madam Sharon and all that. I know the different terminologies you can use to achieve a better results. I promise everyone here, we are now one, regardless of what has happened a few minutes ago, and I promise to work with my clerks very well, we shall have a better parliament, I promise. Thank you so much for the different, our chief guest. We thank you so much for adoring our invitation. And I promise to preside over this house without discrimination, and I'll give everyone a chance. Because the youth, the fact that the report by Wobo states that we are the majority here, we need to speak, we need to be the leaders, and it starts with leadership. I promise to lead you, and I promise to fulfill each and everyone's expectation. Thank you so much.
Congratulations once again, Kakoza Derek, upon your victory. We are going to adjourn the house to a recess. It's official. Our clerks for today will be Ampare Hannah, Teresa, and Adroni. They'll be our clerks for the 8th Central Youth Parliament. Let's give them a round of applause. It's not easy to take up a position, yeah, regardless of the results. I mean, that is a very big milestone. The courage you have to step up means a lot. And I, for one, I commend them for the courage that they have taken in order to lead the house. And it's my prayer that we support them as they are carrying out their duties. So we'll be going into recess for the next 5 minutes as we're ushering in the new speaker who will chair the house. And that's when our program will officially begin. But thank you for exercising your mandate. I'm happy that there was no invalid ballot paper. Yet, I mean, all of you casted your votes, and clap for yourselves. Now, besides that, I'm looking forward to, on my behalf and on behalf of everyone, as you can see, our chief guest is in the building, our partners are also around, different stakeholders. We are looking forward to your active deliberations on the motions that we have on the order paper. And from the look of things, I'm seeing very brilliant faces with brilliant ideas, and I'm very sure you're going to elucidate top-notch deliberations as we are traversing the whole conversation today. But once again, on my behalf and on behalf of the Faraja team and the different stakeholders and partners, welcome to the Central Youth Parliament, and we're looking forward to having a very wonderful stay here with you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back as the speaker chairs the house. Thank you.
Out by young people themselves. They don't necessarily get audience.
This being the 6th edition of the National Youth Parliament, organized by Faraja Africa Foundation.
Yeah.
As always, the drill is you have the regional parliaments where youth get to deliberate on various issues. So how were the regional parliaments of this year?
Well, quite interesting. They were bigger compared to last year. Remember, because last year we still had COVID, that was, sketchy. This time around, we had bigger numbers and we had wider participation.
This year's Central Regional Youth Parliament has been an interesting one, where I've had young people come together and deliberate on issues that are actually pressing us.
We are given those spaces to exercise and also give out our views to those local governments. We will cry and cry and cry until Jesus comes back.
So far, this is the first youth parliament I've attended. Physically, I had attended the virtual one in 2021, but it has been a beautiful experience, a lot of brilliant people to meet, seeing the youth passionate about the matters of the country.
I think each year that gets by, the youth parliament becomes more interesting and it gets better. It's a very enriching experience to see young people debate on pertinent issues that affect them in society. It's a blessing to tap into their cups of wisdom because, they give us a fresh feel of what is going on at the grassroots, where we might not be able as leaders to reach on a daily. So young people's advocacy, strengthening the youth voice, is a platform that we really need to fully utilize, and the youth parliament offers it on a silver platter.
The question the youth are asking out there, how do you choose this member of parliament to come on the floor of parliament?
Okay, for starters, it is always a competitive process, that is for a fact. But in the competition, we look at leaders, young emerging leaders, who have hands-on skills, who have done something, and we also give a lot of consideration to the leaders from the grassroots, because given our development approach, we're using a bottom-top approach. I don't want to lie to you that I'm going to go and pick someone that has been in power for some time, that is exposed already. No, we want that person who has not been here one time, or that person who is able to talk, who is able to speak. And of course, while we're doing that, we consider special groups, I'm talking about the PWDs, yeah. I'm talking about the special groups. We're looking at the women.
All rise, Speaker in the House. Swearing in of the Speaker.
I, Kakoza Derek, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda in the office of the Speaker of the Central Youth Parliament, and that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as by law established, so help me God. Thank you. You can now take your seats.
Good morning once again. Thank you so much. At this juncture, we shall have the anthems. Let's all rise for the anthems.
I would like to welcome Honorable Nkoyo to lead us in the national anthems, please.
I chopped my music school, so you will bear with me. Oh, Uganda, the boldly we lay our future in thy hand. United free for liberty, together we'll always stand. E Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu zote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Let's humble ourselves for the prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning, charged with a duty to advocate for the greatest stakeholders of this country. We dedicate ourselves unto your hands. May you grace us with mercy and love as we take on this charge to not only speak, but also act where necessary. We pray that you may enable our leaders of this parliament execute their roles and duties in amplifying the youth's voice wherever it has to reach for a better future. We dedicate our sponsors into your hands. May you continue providing unto them and also keep them close to us for continuous support and also good health upon them. We dedicate this dear house, the delegates, that you may enable them, Lord Father, to further take on the task that is before them without fear or favor. We pray because we believe you answer when we call upon you. In Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Okuvedane derioliona line gwanga Buganda yamanyi banyo egwanga lyaffe okweto lolensi zonna twesimye nnyo olwa Buganda yaffe ekitiibwa kya Buganda kyava dda naffe tukikuumenga.
Awangale Ssaabasajja Kabaka.
Thank you so much. We can all take our seats now. How are we all today? So at this juncture, once again, we're going to have a representative from Faraja Africa Foundation. Let's put our hands together as she comes.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I know we've not yet had breakfast, but let's have some energy as you're youthful and as they also adjust to my height. First of all, my name is Nawira Shalom Chantal. I work with Faraja Africa Foundation, Program Manager in charge of governance and participation. I'd like to welcome you all for coming here and for making some good time. First of all, I would like to applaud you all for being smart. Is this where we stamp? Yeah, thank you all for being smart. You look great. I would like to thank each one of you for attending the 8th Subnational Youth Parliament convened by Faraja Africa Foundation. The subnational parliaments, which began in 2018, have since become a flagship program over the years. This platform has nurtured, mentored, and propelled young leaders into the leadership levels at not only national but also regional levels. A word of encouragement. Let us embrace our potential as young leaders. We're not just the leaders of tomorrow, we are the architects of today. Our voices resonate with power, influence, and the possibility of real change. In this room, I see future policymakers, innovators, and change makers who will shape the narrative of this region and beyond. We often hear that youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but I say we are the leaders today. Each one of us here has a critical role to play in shaping policies that reflect our dreams and aspirations. Let us challenge the status quo with creativity, boldness, and some bit of humor, because who say serious matters cannot be approached with a smile. Sometimes laughter can be the bridge that connects us, the spark that unites us. I extend a heartfelt thank you to our partners, especially GIZ, who have consistently believed in us and supported this journey. Your commitment is invaluable. You've provided us with resources, mentorship, and opportunities to amplify the youth voices. Together we are building a brighter, stronger Uganda. As we embark on this journey, I urge each one of you to engage fully. Speak up, share your ideas, let your voices be heard. This is your platform. Use it wisely. Whether you're advocating for climate change, pushing for educational reforms, or championing any cause close to your heart, know this: every voice matters. Remember, change does not happen overnight. It takes persistence, patience, and sometimes a touch of humor to carry us through the toughest of days. Even in adversity, there is always space for joy, and there's always room for laughter. Let us be the light. I wish you all a good day and good deliberations. Thank you once again. Through you, Honorable Speaker, I would love to invite the next speaker. Yes. That note, I would like to invite the head of delegation, German Corporation, GIZ, to give us a word, and then we'll invite the chief guest later on. You're welcome. You're welcome to take the stand. A round of applause, please, as she comes.
Thank you very much. I'm a little bit taller, not a lot, but okay, thank you very much. So my name is Alicia van den Boom. I'm the head of cooperation from the German embassy. And I'm here today with my colleague from GIZ, who is leading the component of CAS that is supporting this meeting today. But let me start with the formalities, because I see you're really good in that. I'm very impressed how you followed all the protocol with electing the speaker and so on. That is very impressive. So, Honorable Speaker, thank you. Then the representative of Faraja, the representatives of the civil society organizations, representatives of the youth, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure today to join you at the Subnational Youth Parliament in Mukono. Traffic didn't make it easy to come, so I'm sorry that we delayed, but I'm very happy to be here today. This is a vital platform to amplify the voices of Uganda's young leaders. You heard it from the colleague from Faraja before. I mean, you're the future, and this is now where you can practice how to be a leader later on in life. This event is a part of a series of 8 subnational youth parliaments held across the country. It underscores the power of youth in the Buganda region to drive inclusive governance and sustainable development through technology and partnerships. And this is exactly also the theme of this year's International Youth Day. In line with this focus on technology, this meeting is held in a hybrid format, I understand, enabling both in-person and virtual participation by leveraging digital platforms such as Faraja Digital Television, X, and YouTube. So also greetings to anyone following online. I'm not going to waste your time now to explain why technology is important and what it can do for you. You know way better than me. You're digital natives. I still remember dialing into the internet. So ladies and gentlemen, you, the youth, are Uganda's future. In the last elections, over 6.4 million young people under the age of 30 were eligible to vote. Thus, youth make up a big part of the country's democratic processes. Your energy, creativity, and commitment to change are critical to addressing current and future challenges. I would like to appreciate the Faraja Africa Foundation, which has been instrumental in creating inclusive spaces like this Mukono Subnational Youth Parliament, empowering young women, men with and without disabilities to engage in policy dialogue and advocate for priorities such as education, health, economic empowerment, and climate action. Together with the European Union, Germany supports this initiative through GIZ to foster meaningful participation of civil society in governance processes and to strengthen the dialogue between state actors and civil society. Let me be very clear. We are not here to tell you what to say. What we want is we want to enable you to speak for yourself. A plurality of opinions is crucial for the functioning of any democracy. Everyone deserves to be seen and heard, even if we might disagree on some points. Therefore, we are supporting Faraja's Youth Parliament series for 3 consecutive years, and we have witnessed constructive engagements of strong and passionate youth leaders on subnational, national, and even regional level. And I would like to encourage you also today to speak your truth, your opinion, and really exchange on the issues, because that's also how you get to compromise. You don't have to always have the same opinion, but it's important that we express this and we talk about it. And I'm really looking forward to hearing your discussions today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping for rich discussions, diverse perspectives, and in the end, inclusive policy recommendations. I understand that your deliberations will feed into the National Youth Parliament in August and the East African Youth Parliament in Arusha in September, ensuring that grassroots voices shape national and regional policies. As you engage in today's debates, let your discussion be guided by respect and inclusivity, ensuring all voices, especially of those of women, persons with disabilities, and other marginalized groups, are heard. Thank you very much, and I wish you productive and impactful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Through you, Honorable Speaker, allow me to invite the chief guest, Vice Chairperson, Mukono District. You're welcome.
Honorable Speaker, our partners, and comrades, honorable members on that side, good morning. Names of Jerome Chimera Kabadi, Mukono District Deputy Governor, in brackets Vice Chairperson Mukono, and also the Minister for Finance, Administration and Planning for the district. I'm so honored that I was given this invitation to be part of the people that I seem to be of the same age. Dear, I may be a little bit older, but not so old. Fellow youth, there is a saying that I want to start with. Those people that say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. Ideally, I've been looking for that tomorrow, but I failed to find one, which I think tomorrow is today. And I believe some of you have already contested for the upcoming elections. How I wish. Those days when I was still at campus, I was the GRC, Guild Representative to the Council. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Commerce, Makerere University, under the leadership of Lois Semboga, who took our leadership from Basil Mota, because that was my candidate. For those who were there, that was 2017, 2018 elections. That's when I realized that it's our turn to raise up and raise our strong voice towards the change of our country. If we don't do, who will? Still, there is that saying that we are the biggest number, the youth. We make 75%. Though there are those that are below the voting age, but still those at the voting age, we are also there. Please, my first humble request to all of you that are here, before you go to Parliament, you go through the electoral process, right? So then how do you think you'll be there to deliver those strong voices, pretty voices from the ladies, when you don't go to usher out with the voters? To explain to them. You see, there is a difference. When you're addressing, when I was a GRC at Makerere, the way I used to handle those people who have gone to school, so not the same way I'm handling people in the village. No, so far different. The elite, I had to convince. Because I'm here speaking, but some of them have already gone to conclusions. That's them, I understand. The other people, in fact, they are like, sorry to say, ladies, some of the ladies, when you tell them the facts, you're not serious. You lie to them, you are the best. So that's the procedure, keeping other factors constant. I don't want to attack my speaker, but I was kind of surprised. The biggest number of voters here are male. I was surprised a male speaker won, because my biggest voters are female and women. Because you say, that is our son, very young and handsome like he is. He deserves to serve us. Really, I'm so humbled that I'm here with you as a young Ugandan, but as a voice for the generation that we believe that is meant to lead today, not tomorrow anymore. With the forces and issues that we face in the social, economic, and political environment that we run through, that are hindering most of us, the high level of unemployment with the youth, the continuous domestic violence with the youth, especially our sisters, the political environment that is too hard, less inclusive of late, that whoever comes out in a direction that is not accepted by a few group of people, you're taken up in that direction, bad person. I happen to be on the opposition. I'm an NUP. I'm a candidate on the National Unity Platform Party, and that's my party that I do support. Ever much, I'm working as the vice chairperson of the district within the NRM government. There's something that I realized, and I don't know why people create a lot of tension within politics. Yet we can associate with everyone that we can work with, because the issue is not the party. The issue is the people we serve. I've been reading on the other paper, and there are so many issues that don't even directly concern politics in direction of parties, but directly they are political issues that help out our people. If you look at the political environment, if you look at technology, digital era, and those other issues, because economically, Uganda has progressed in sectors, a lot of them. There are so many factors that have risen in Uganda. But the question is, how much do those youth that work there earn? Since I'm closer to people, I can tell you, so many youth, young people, work for below 10,000 a day. Those are less $5 a day. $5. Because if you go to the Forex, a dollar, US dollar, is 375, 500. So that is less than $5 a day. And that person has to survive, pays rent, water bills. You see? And I believe in your discussions, some of those issues will come out. The less empowerment of our youth that calls for our direct involvement in the leadership of this country. Direct involvement in the leadership of this country. If you want to come direct from this position to the level of a president, you're wrong. Go through smaller steps, you'll be there. I'm contesting for my second term as a councillor, but my target is being an MP, a member of parliament. That's my direction, being a member of parliament for my constituency where I come from. And I believe I can, because if it comes to books, I have a few that can help me handle those issues. I have several certificates in law, administrative law, business law. Currently, I'm doing some certificate online with civil and civil and something law. But I have already with business law and administrative law. And I happen to be a student of civil engineering on a diploma level. I very much have a bachelor's in commerce. Because I see when you focus on one direction, you miss out a lot. Fellow youth that are here, honorable members present here, please let us focus on a very vital goal of changing our country. I have friends who are born again or Pentecostals. They usually fire things. I want to take that same spirit to fire out that spirit that makes us lazy and blame others for our own failures. Let us fire out that spirit that makes us lazy and blame others for our own failures. We have a chance to change our country, but we prefer being in bed and watching TikTok. And time passes. What tomorrow brings, it's us to cry. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I congratulate you. Now, since I'm a politician, I know what it feels when people go to the ballot and say you are the best out of others. I really understand, and I congratulate you, Honorable Speaker, for that position. And I wish your clerks the best probably next time. They still look young. They can contest some other time. I will not exceed that point. And I wish you the best of that day. I may not have the whole day with you, however much I wished to. But currently in office, I'm the chairperson of the district. My boss is not within. So I have a lot in office. So if I disappear in a humble way, just appreciate nature that it has called. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, our chief guest, for those wise words. Moving forward, I'll request each one of us to stamp our feet when we are appreciating someone and not clap our hands. So at this moment, let me invite a representative from SEPA to give the rules of procedure.
Thank you so much. The Honorable Speaker, the clerks, delegation from the German Embassy, delegation from GIZ, and the Vice Chairperson, Mukono District. To you all, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Timothy Aine. I am a knowledge weaver at the Center for Policy Analysis. You will excuse my voice. I have a tick at the throat, but I hope you can hear me. Well, I will take you through the rules of procedure going forward. And let me first take you through the objectives of this Youth Parliament. The Central Youth Parliament provides a platform for youth engagement on governance, development, and policy issues. It also promotes civic responsibility, democratic values, and leadership among youth. It strengthens youth participation in decision making at the local and national levels. The composition of this youth parliament, we have youth delegates who are aged between 18 to 30 years, for those that are joining us for the first time. We have observers from civil society, from the government agencies, and development partners. We also have technical support staff and the secretariat, or the organizers and the lead conveners of this youth parliament, which is the Faraja Africa Foundation. The leadership of the House, you have already elected the Speaker. We also have 2 clerks of Parliament in front of you. Maybe to take you through the duties of the leadership of the House. The Speaker presides over proceedings and enforces rules so that that ensures order. The clerks manage records, prepare the order paper, and assist with documentation. I'll go through how the motions and debate will move going forward. The structure way is that the mover speaks for 3 minutes. The seconder speaks for 2 minutes. Then the speaker shall open the floor to the members, the honorable members, and every one person will have 2 to 3 minutes so that you submit. Then the mover is also given the right to relay and also reply. But as you're submitting, you will come to this podium where I'm seated, where I'm standing, so that we'll be able to, there is a recording that is going on, we are live, so we'll be able to capture your views in a better way when you're standing here at the podium. I will go to the conduct of the members. The honorable members shall address the speaker and observe respectful decorum. There is no use of offensive, tribal, or discriminatory language. Then the disruptive members may be warned, suspended, or removed by the speaker. then the amendments, maybe to the rules that I've just given you, it could be amended by 2/3 of the majority of the sitting. If there is any query regarding those rules of procedure, you could raise a hand and we get into it, so that if there is any need for an amendment. Thank you. There is none, so allow me to hand over to you, Speaker. Fruitful deliberations.
With that said, we shall adjourn the House for 20 minutes to have breakfast. But before that, we shall first have a group photo outside. Please, everyone should participate in this. Just after here, we shall move out and have a group photo. Then we shall proceed with other procedures. Thank you.
Are not spoken out by young people themselves. They don't necessarily get audience.
This being the 6th edition of the National Youth Parliament, organized by Faraja. As always the drill is, you have the regional parliaments where youth get to debate on various issues. So how were the regional parliaments of this year?
Well, quite interesting. They were bigger compared to last year. Remember, because last year we still had COVID, that was, sketchy. This time around, we had bigger numbers and we had wider participation.
This year's Central Regional Youth Parliament has been an interesting one, where I've had young people come together and deliberate on issues that are actually pressing us.
We are given those spaces to exercise and also give out our views to those local governments. We will cry and cry and cry until Jesus comes back.
So far, this is the first youth parliament I've attended. Physically, I had attended the virtual one in 2021, but it has been a beautiful experience. A lot of brilliant people to meet, seeing the youth passionate about the matters of the country.
I think each year that gets by, the youth parliament becomes more interesting and it gets better. It's a very enriching experience to see young people debate on pertinent issues that affect them in society. It's a blessing to tap into their cups of wisdom, because they give us a fresh feel of what is going on at the grassroots, where we might not be able as leaders to reach on a daily. So young people's advocacy, strengthening the youth voice, is a platform that we really need to fully utilize, and the youth parliament offers it on a silver platter.
The question the youth are asking out there, how do you choose this member of parliament to come on the floor of parliament?
Okay, for starters, it is always a competitive process, that is for a fact. But in the competition, we look at leaders, young emerging leaders, who have hands-on skills, who have done something, and we also give a lot of consideration to the leaders from the grassroots, because given our development approach, we're using a bottom-top approach. I don't want to lie to you that I'm going to go and pick someone that has been in power for some time, that is exposed already. No, we want that person who has not been here one time, or that person who is able to talk, who is able to speak. And of course, while we're doing that, we consider special groups. I'm talking about the PWDs, yeah. I'm talking about the special groups. We're looking at the women, the young mothers out there, and that person who maybe didn't finish school, but they're trying to make it out there. So it's not like we don't want everyone to participate. I also have to have regional balances. We want each and every region.
I was so inspired by the sessions. When I was cheering, at some point I got lost in my head. I said, imagine this was the real parliament, because the people were really respectful. Under my guidance, I managed to imagine in 30 minutes, 18 politicians speaking to the point. That was special, and we need to improve this, keep on going with this. Now, one day is not enough for everyone to understand the content of the motions. We tried, but we can only try. So this has inspired me. I want to really talk, say, okay, what are the chances? Can we see, is there any chance that we could keep on these conversations? Maybe even if it's quarterly. Because this crowd, if they have another chance to debate, they'll just get better and better and better.
So the issues that were carried out from all these different regions were put together, and of course we use the whole problem analysis sort of method to come down to the motions that we've discussed today in the chambers.
During the event, we had 3 motions, but one of the most outstanding motions that really that really touched me was the motion on cattle rustling in the eastern part of Achule sub-region and Karamoja. This is something that we have been talking about. We tried all angles, and when this thing was brought, and I believe what we brought out here will again spark fire on the government to at least act.
Traders who have handed over their guns to the government, you will find that they have been promised that maybe we are going to give you these livestock and other things to do. Because what the Cajuns knows, most of them, they know about only cattle keeping. There should be an alternative of other things so that they don't go around and killing people, taking away their cattle. They should know that without keeping the cattle, we can also survive on our own.
It is not only about the cattle raids that is taking place. As I speak right now, families are leaving their home as early as by 5 p.m. to go to seek for a refuge in one of the nearest places that they think it's a bit safe. One of them being churches, institutions like schools, just that they can comfort themselves in. Because these cattle raiders are no longer only taking cattle, but they're also killing people.
Well, the issue of climate change and then in relation to also agriculture for the young people, that one is very directly related to the young people, because climate change and agriculture eventually evolve into a reduction in the quality of life that the young people are living. And if young people cannot live a certain quality of life where they can have their basic needs and all that, it can set grounds for other challenges to rise, especially community-based challenges.
We've had a discussion around land, and this has been a very big challenge, where we have people have been losing their land grabbers. We've had people owning miles and miles of land in this place because of the different bureaucracies that rotate around land, lease, non-lease. But we've actually come to discuss this as young people, because in the long run we are all affected. These are areas of settlement, these are areas of habitats where the young people are living and actually trying to earn a living. Having agriculture as our background, the young people here are actually doing a lot of agriculture on this land. Others are rearing cows and others are planting crops. So having the young people come to discuss on these issues that are affecting them, especially the land issue. The land is rotating around economically, socially, and in all ways the land is important to the young people and it is a resource to us.
Then for service delivery, it was mostly on medical interns and boosting the national the education of the country. And then for National Youth Council, we were of the view that we as youth, the budget should be boosted, since we see that in this financial year, it was decreased from 4 billion to 800 million.
So many issues within the health sector. I would point out that the government should really invest in the preventive measures, especially when it comes to cancer. Cancer has been a very big problem for the country. Looking at the women who have the breast cancer being the highest in the country. So if we have preventive measures, we will not lose a lot of money having to borrow from World Bank and all these other countries.
The greatest challenge that I identified is research. You see, when you are invited for the National Youth Parliament like this, you should come well equipped with knowledge, with information on what you are going to debate about. You notice during the debates in the House, there were a lot of challenges. People were challenging each other on information, on falsehoods of speaking this and that. So it is very important that moving forward for the future, young people should always invest their time to research about the issues that they come to speak about. It only does not distinguish them as prominent leaders in the future, but it also substantiates debate better for policy shaping.
The theme is in line with our International Youth Theme Day. It's about green skills. So we are trying to advocate for climate change. We also incorporated better livelihood. You know, climate affects us in every sort of way.
Green skilling is one thing that we need to push across the divide. Not only young people, but young people are the center of it, because we are the drive to sustainability. If we have the young people of today each acquire a green skill, then you can transcend it to another young person. And a green skill does not require a budget. It could be the basics of just protecting your environment, being cautious about environmental degradation, seeing how best we can have as many young climate change agents as possible.
For the two motions, the first one was on climate change. That is something very urgent. I'm personally going to take it to the Ministry of Water and Environment. I already have a meeting with the Commission of Climate Change.
Wow, you're already working.
Yes, we already. I have a meet, not in my office, but as an individual.
Wow.
So with the guidance of Faraja, I should be able maybe to try and table some of these things. There are opportunities to train young negotiators on climate change. Personally, I negotiate for government on climate change. I was in Germany last month doing that work. There's COP. So all these are training opportunities. We must table them, especially the climate change thing, and continue with the conversation. We are not implementers, but we have to push, learn how to lobby our agenda.
The issue of climate change and then in relation to also agriculture for the young people, that one is very directly related to the young people, because climate change and agriculture eventually evolve into a reduction in the quality of life that the young people are living. And if young people cannot live a certain quality of life where they can have their basic needs and all that, it can set grounds for other challenges to rise.
The best solution to jungle burning is a subsidization of the alternatives. If the government sees fit, then they should subsidize electricity.
With the big theme of green skilling of the youth, this addresses the core issue of my generation. We have big population of the youth, not guided, without any meaningful skills. That is why they go into forest and cut everything down for very temporary need. But the big issue is, as legislators, we shall take it upon ourselves that going forward, when a bill comes,
to the people of Uganda. Attention be drawn that in the contravention of the national objective and directive principles of the state policies, Section 18 and 20 impose an obligation of the state to ensure that all Ugandans enjoy the right of health and the right of education. Proceeding to the breach of Uganda's Vision 2040, commitments under this vision emphasize on expansion of human capital through accessible education and health services. Indulging in data analysis provided by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, the UBOS 2023-2024, it holds that 16.1% of the Ugandans are not getting equitable education and health. The normative elements of right to health are four. According to the General UN Number 14 Committee of the Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, availability, accessibility, accessibility, and quality. Proceeding to my first head of argument, which is availability. The government of Uganda has improved.
Please, in 1 minute. Yes. In 1 minute.
The government of Uganda has improved in hospitals, according to the health report 2023-2024, and the general hospitals are estimated to be 2,524, about 7.4%. Health centers 13.3%, which is represented by 46,146, and the total number of clinics, that is 45,427. The government has, however, been challenged by different personnel who build hospitals in terms of challenging the government accessibility on hospitals, like Honorable Mawanda Nkunyunji, the MP of Chadongo. This further extended health services to the people.
As you conclude?
In my conclusion, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. In my conclusion, according to the Auditor General's report, the government effort to support the menstrual health and hygiene in primary schools in Uganda, it was captured that 3 million girls aged 10 to 15 under the administration, about 3 million, 4%, don't go for classes because of menstruation. But what is alarming is that the government, in its budget, gave the Ministry of Education, which is responsible in mobilizing menstruation hygiene, allocated 10%. This is approximately 26 million. And we have been having a variety of cases in Mukono district, particularly Wakiso, and other instances and places. I would like to tender in my submission, and may it be found useful for this Honorable House. I thus endure to submit. If of no further indulgences, I yield the floor to my co-honorable to second the motion. Much obliged. Thank you very much.
The Right Honorable Speaker and the House at large, first, before I delve into this matter of secondment, permit me to congratulate you upon your victory to become the Speaker, and also people sitting beside you for having assumed the roles today in the youth advocacy. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand to second the motion moved by my honorable colleague, urging government to address with urgency the socio-economic hardships that have limited access to basic social services like health and education. Right Honorable Speaker, I will not go through what my colleague has already stated. the House and the House at large, according to the WUBOS report, this country's population stands at 45 million people, half of which is below 18 years of age and 5% are 60 years of age. Of the 45, 22 are children below the age of 18 years and 23 are 18 years and above. Of these, of the 23 million people, 10 are the youth between 18 and 30 years. Those constitute the percentage of us who constitute this House. Right Honorable Speaker and the House at large, 42.6%, which is equivalent to 4 million of the youth aged between 15 to 24, are not employed any kind of training, despite Uganda being a party to the Dakar Declaration, which mandates the government to spend at least 20% of their national budget on education. But for the past 20 years, ever since Uganda ratified to these international obligations, our budget has not surpassed 10%. Right Honorable Speaker and the House at large, government policies and programs should be geared towards addressing challenges affecting the 52% who are below 18 years and crafting a plausible strategies for a better future. These are the future of the country. Like our chief guest stated, that we're no longer talking about tomorrow, we are talking about today. We are the leaders, and everything that we discuss here must be directed towards addressing the current, the people who we're going to entrust this generation with, and also the population that is going to craft the future of this country. Right Honorable Speaker, basing on that background, that there is need for government to increase funding for government-aided schools. Right Honorable Speaker and the House at large, as earlier noted, we are below the 20% of the government's total expenditure. In the 2024-2025 budget, 50.8 trillion, which is equivalent to 8%, was passed. Yet for 2025, the budget was reduced to 5 trillion, which is a reduction.
Yes. You have 1 minute.
Yes, Honorable. Which is a reduction of 6% by 800 billion. Right Honorable Speaker, the government offers a capitation grant of 3,000 per child in government-aided schools. This money comes in 3 quarters. The deputy chairperson from Mukono district can affirm to this. This money takes 3 to 4 months to come, and so schools are left with nothing to do between that period of time. And so children cannot study, and that has led to child labor, on the contrary to the International Labour Organization conventions that Uganda is a signatory. Right Honorable Speaker, this House should take it as a position that they should advocate for government to increase from 3,000 to at least 10,000 per child going forward. We should also advocate for feeding of children in government-aided schools. Many of them, government has restrained feeding of children in government-aided schools, and so they go hungry, and that has led to dropout of school-going children. Right Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, there is urgent need for the government to address teachers' quotas at schools. Teachers are supposed to keep closer to the people that they teach. Teachers cannot be trekking the same distance as the pupils they teach. Sometimes the pupils reach before the teachers reach, or sometimes they fail. And so, there is an urgent need to address such a matter. Right Honorable Speaker, as I stated, as I conclude, at least 10 leaders of this country are graduates of humanities. The discrepancy in the salary of teachers, science teachers being awarded 4 million, and the arts teachers are given 1 million, including the pay-as-you-earn taxes. This discrepancy does not inspire them to teach the children of this nation. Such is a disservice and a legacy against the teachers who taught the topmost leaders of this country. All of them are students of humanities. So there is need to address the salaries of the teachers to motivate them to do their work. Right Honorable Speaker, my last point in the secondment of this motion is taxation of institutions of higher learning. Universities. Many of us here are university students. Makerere University had close to 2,000 sitting for their pre-entries. 600, close to 600 passed the pre-entries, and when they were admitting, only 200 were taken in. The rest are going to private institutions. These private institutions are highly taxed, and so that burden is pushed to our parents, and the parents can no longer, are suffocating, and they can no longer hold it. So the government, we need to carry it as a resolution of this House for the government to stop sacrificing us into private institutions where our parents cannot stand a chance to pay tuition. Many of you here, those who are studying and those who are off semester, you know the struggles that you go through to get tuition to sit for exams. So it should be the position of this House that government subsidizes the utilities within these university institutions of higher learning and also the tuition as a whole to enable students, because private institutions are supplementing on the government's role on supporting the education sector. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, with that, thank you for the Honorable Member for moving and Honorable Nkoyo for seconding the motion. Now the House is open for debate. But in your main, be aware of the points of procedure of this House. Now they are open. And please take time and give us researched work. Don't come here and start thinking from here. It will take a lot of time, we know that. These motions were given to you at least a week before. So please, I expect you to come with researched work so that you don't think from the podium, because you will take a lot of time to think from there. Thank you so much. And I will respect gender balance. Honorable Kia will take on, then Honorable.
Present, the partners to this particular cause, and all the delegates present, a very good morning. Particular cause, and all the delegates present, a very good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is I'm a law scholar, and most of all, I like to call myself a social justice activist supporter. So basically, this particular motion sinks to the heart, to my very own heart, speaking to the fact that I'm a very big social justice activist. Now, we have all been given statistics. You have been given a point of view of how socioeconomic aspects run in this country. We look at poverty, we look at gender equality. These are all aspects that affect this nation. Now, allow me first to drive you straight to the statistics, from which I choose to bring my issue as a delegate to this very parliament. Now, they told us that in the statistics I read, that was the Uganda demographic health survey, it indicates that 25% of girls aged 15 to 19 have had a child or are currently pregnant. Now, why am I bringing out an aspect of girls? Now, if you get an analysis and that we are actually the Central Youth Parliament, and the age that these are youths that are upcoming, and at the end of the day, like we have been told that the youths are the future of tomorrow, right? Now, or even that the future of now, we have been told we are the architects. And if these particular issues are not tackled, it's going to have a great impact in the access to education, in the access to health services. Now, why I come here speaking from a place of experience. I, for one, have volunteers with several organizations, and I have seen the kind of impact the psycho-economic aspect has. If you go to the rural areas, close your eyes to the city that you have lived in. I've volunteered and gone to maybe to Kasese. I have seen how very many girls drop out of school. And why am I emphasizing on this particular issue? That the access to education is eventually affected with the kind of impact they get to experience, the kind of impact they have as persons, the kind of confidence they get to deliver as young people, the kind of ideas they deliver is quite different from a person who has attained education and one who has not attained education. And the aspect of teenage pregnancy comes a long way. I would like to bring out an emphasis of the Busoga region, an aspect that came out in Busoga region some time back. We got an aspect of girls of menstruation issues. Now, if this continues, this is going to become a sort of vicious cycle. We are going to have very many people in these rural areas, and we cannot deny the fact that these schools, the education, the government schools in these villages, like the second of this motion stated that the services delivered, the kind of education they attain, the kind of support they get to acquire in these rural areas is not the best. But still, we continue to frustrate them with these menstrual issues, making them fail to access pads, fail to attend school. Even now, at the end of the day, we shall not achieve this as a country by 2040. Now, what do I seek to leave on the table? Speaking from a place of having engaged with these rural areas, I've noticed that the implementation is easier if they are distributed on a very low scale. I'm able to know about all this. Why? Because I volunteered with an NGO. I volunteered.
In 1 minute, please conclude.
Thank you. I'm able to say this because I've engaged with NGOs and I can say the kind of passion from which they come from, ignoring the political arena that several people come to these government spaces because of the political aspect. So what am I seeking for? I'm seeking that the government should intensify on their kind of partnerships with NGOs, the non-government organizations, such as Richer Hand Uganda, volunteered with MEMPRO Girls Network. Now, these networks are able to tackle the grassroots issues of these people. So I acknowledge that the government, in the NGO Bureau, they have stated that the government continues to recognize more NGOs, but if their partnerships intensify, this grassroots impact is going to be achieved, because at the end of the day, we are here to speak because we have been given the opportunity to speak by the kind of education we have. We have gone to private institutions. But what about the youths in those rural areas? They're not able to express themselves. So if the government partners better with NGOs, working together with the local leaders, with emphasis on NGOs, because if this opportunity is dispensed to the NGOs, they have a greater touch the communities. They know which, because some organizations have sort of grassroots representatives on these NGOs. So if this is done, more partnership is done with NGOs to have this kind of impact. An issue such as menstruation, an issue such as gender equality is going to be achieved to a greater milestone, because clearly using government coming straight through their local leaders is not really helping to a greater extent. So my plea as a delegate to this Central Youth Parliament is seeking that the government should more look at the rural areas, have more emphasis on these rural areas through the NGOs that have actually tried as much as they can to have enough establishments so they're able to reach these rural areas. Thank you so much. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much. For that, we see that she didn't think from here. She had already thought and researched and gave an elaborative kind of analysis. I'll offer the next space to Honorable Jovia. Strictly 3 minutes. Please, the points of information and all the points of procedure in this house are allowed. Please give in.
Protocol observed. Good morning to you all. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, and congratulations. Well, the development of a society is always judged on the measurement of health and education. Dear delegates, allow me to submit that I support the motion 1.
Honorable, before you continue, we know very well that you have to first introduce yourself, your names, where you're coming from. For example, I'm from Gomba, I'm from Gomba district. Then for matters of social interactions.
Okay, thank you so much, Right Honorable. I'm Jovia Kusima, and I come from Homa district. I'm a student at UCU here at main campus. Okay, once again, I was saying the development of a society is always judged by the measurement or the difference between the health and the education. And Right Honorable Speaker, the access of education and health is not a luxury, just like the motion mover stated it. Allow me to let you know that the National TB and Leprosy Program of 2020 to 2025 currently, referring to the report, 85% of Uganda statistics shows that we are facing a problem of TB cases and leprosy. And when I get back to Mukono, as an area, we have 48% cases facing TB patients facing TB and leprosy. Using a case study of Mukono General Hospital, whereby I'm currently carrying a research there, or to know how the National TB and Leprosy Strategic Program is really delivering its services. One of the things that I can urge the government is accountability of the funds. Where have the funds gone? What exactly have they done? And also, here we are seeing that the healthcare service sector in Mukono is really lacking, whereby they do not have enough drugs in those wards. Patients are really dying. I remember 3 weeks ago when I went to carry out a research there. Like today, I carried out a research on a certain patient. The following day when I went there, I was told he died at night. He died at night whereby even the health workers weren't around. You can imagine. Secondly, when I talk about the education part, a case study of Triple P here in Mukono, and it's a primary school, and His Grace Kindergarten, 70% of the pupils, both girls and boys, miss out school because of health and education services, whereby some teachers are present when it comes to education, and also the schools are really not available to give enough salary to the health workers that are really working with them. And also, in those two schools, 75% of the girls miss school because of their periods. Just like the Right Honorable before me stated it that there is more need of funding when it comes to the menstruation sector or area. We are seeing that just like the way in March, we read the news, over 6 in 10 of the girls miss school because of their periods. And on the menstruation day of May 28th, while I was invited in Budondo, where girls use polythene and soil just to pad themselves during their periods, we are seeing that besides the urban areas, but also the rural areas are really lacking. Those villages are really suffering. Imagine someone using soil and a polythene bag. For you, yes, I personally may use a polythene bag and I throw it. I will not use it for padding myself. But imagine.
As you conclude.
Yes, please. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Well, as I conclude, I'm calling upon the government to also do monitoring and evaluation in whatever they are doing, and also a nation that doesn't invest in health and education of its people is always preparing failure for its people. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much. Honorable Harrison, please you can come over, then Honorable Dismas. Please strictly 3 minutes, and then have an argument. Why should the government offer more of these pregnancy, maybe condoms and all that for free, than pads, menstrual pads? Your periods, you can't avoid your periods if you're a lady. I think the government should look into that. Why don't they offer these menstrual pads in all health centers for free? Yes, we need to keep ourselves safe from AIDS, but still, you having sex, it can be your personal choice. But menstrual periods are not a personal choice, but it's a right. You can proceed.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. My name is Harrison Richard Maganda. I'm a law student here at Uganda Christian University, and I hail from Nakaseke district. And the statistics have been mentioned. And out of the statistics, I would like to address two concerns, one on education and the other on healthcare. On the part of education, I call upon the government to make a curriculum, to integrate the curriculum to sustain or to address current social and economic concerns in our country, Uganda. First, we, as a country, you've seen Greater Kampala is facing a challenge on waste disposal. You've seen challenges in Chitezi, and it is very absurd that we lost individuals to that kind of horrendous activity that happened then. So why would we study things like the Canadian prairies in our education, that is in geography, subjects like geography, and why would we still, when we have our own indigenous schemes like the Chibimba irrigation scheme along the Jinja-Tororo Highway, when we have our own Kasaku tea estate, and educate our indigenous children and the youth about this, we can increase our produce both domestically and also on the international scale. Then we also need to prioritize, like I said, we need to get our education and then put it into the global concerns. We are having the artificial intelligence coming in, but then artificial intelligence also needs to be regulated. It has become a problem. You've seen things happening, and then individuals say, that is not me, it is the AI. And as a law student, we need to call upon the government to address the artificial intelligence, to integrate it in the law, to allow it to be subsidized and its use. Then on the part of healthcare...
Before you continue, Honorable Member, at this rate, AI is still developing. Do you think that we need to regulate it now, even before its birth in Uganda? Because we just hear it in rumors in Uganda.
Yes.
Should we regulate it now, or we first a bit grow and develop within the jurisdictions of Uganda?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I believe it has to be curbed. Yes, it is present. Now it has to be curbed to prevent a lot of nitty-gritties that come with it. Thank you very much.
Kia, you will state your point on which you're standing.
Thank you so much. This is a POI to you. You speak of the Canadian prairies, and I acknowledge the fact that the government has taken an initiative to put up a new curriculum. So how do you address it in regards to what you have just said? Because they're actually taking on an initiative and put up a new curriculum, which we all acknowledge.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kia. Well, the reforms have been made, but the reforms that have been made have not done away with these kind of things. They've just reduced the content of what has been present. However, when it comes to relevancy, these things have still been left. You get what I'm speaking about. So if these are eradicated completely, I'm not saying that they are bad, but then they're not relevant to our Ugandan setting right now. Yes, thank you very much.
There you go. They're not relevant? What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
If bringing a practical-based approach of studying is not relevant to Uganda,
no.
Yet you said, why should we study Canadian prairies when we have Chibimba?
Yes, I was not saying, sorry, much obliged. I didn't
say
that.
Point?
Yes, I've gotten what you're saying. I'm not saying that it is not relevant. I'm saying, yes, the practicability of it is relevant, but when we are getting aspects from the indigenous schemes, we have Chibimba present, we have Kasaku. So it would be more relevant where we study the problems that are facing farmers in Chibimba, the problems faced by farmers in Kasakuti Estate, rather than the Canadian prairies. Yeah. Lastly, I would like to address, yes, I would like to address on the part of healthcare. We need the government needs to advocate for an improvement in our basic healthcare. Recently, you saw what the Justice of the Court of Appeal went through when the husband passed away. They started with IHK. IHK is a private hospital, and the charges that were there were exorbitant. So they shifted to Nsambia Hospital. They thought maybe it would be at least subsidized, but nonetheless, it was also still high. The cost was still high. And then they went to Mulago Hospital, and Mulago Hospital is believed to at least be everyone's heritage. Like, at least if I fail out privately, I will go to Mulago Hospital and get this health care. But unfortunately, even while in Mulago Hospital, they were not able to actually get the services that they actually wanted. So government needs to also address those hospitals that it put. We have Kawempe, there is Mulago, there is Chirudu. At least let the basic medication be there to at least improve the health care. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
We shall have more 2 submissions. Honorable Member, then in just 3 minutes. Honorable Bibiria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Musasizi Biblia, and I hail from Masaka. I also have residence in Wakiso, so I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I decided this particular outfit or dress code because I believed all of us were going to be in suits, discussing youth-related problems, and the people we represent, meanwhile, can't afford those suits. So it's absurd. We need to integrate them into these debates. They have the actual touch. They have the actual pain. We don't. So our motion is that government should address with urgency, speaks to how quick the government should act, socio-economic hardships that actually affect our access to social services. The motion gives us examples like health and education. However, there is more, like infrastructure. You testify the road you used to this place is not the best. The reason as to why we started late. Trust me, with accessibility, we can have better services. There are services we can pay for, but they become expensive because of infrastructure, like transport. Mukono is supposed to be like 1,000 Ugandan shillings. But guess what? You pay for more than $1 to get to this place. Honorable Speaker, I congratulate you for taking on this role. However, as youth, our biggest problem is the discrimination. We have started getting discriminated as youths. You reach an office, they will say, this young man is going to disturb us, because we are advocating for what belongs to us, a generation. The Bible speaks of a generation to be 40 years, my friend. They are done. It is our time. It is a new era. And every time we access these places, they are like, youth are going to be a problem. We are not a problem. They are the problem. Because they are pushing for things that are so far outdated. In Mukono here, 60% of our young people cannot afford basic health services. Basic. This is a painkiller. Basic. They have to debate whether to buy food for the family or medication. Meanwhile, they are taxed. Think about it. I have to debate whether to medicate my son or to take them to school. Meanwhile, we have no food. Guess what? The government is going to say we are going to create job opportunities. It will bring an investor from China. They'll come. You know the opportunities they are giving you? Carrying load, offloading and loading it back. You know how much they give you per day? 5,000. Then they will give you, that's why I don't believe in statistics. They will tell you our poverty rates are low. Because internationally, poverty is you are earning $1 a day. It's not enough. $1 is not enough. It's just transport to my workplace. And even more. So you cannot start telling me the poverty rates are low based on statistics. The speaker has just told us condoms are free, pads are what? Priority. What does the government prioritize? Is it a fight to against corruption or a fight to ensure it is there? The president stated, if we fight corruption, the corrupt people will invest it outside the country. Can you imagine? That's Uganda. In Champisi, patients line up a full day. Actually, at Mulago, there is a time we took my grandmother to Mulago. We reached there at 6. The line is at the gate. You know why? Accessibility. Okay, let's say they're available. Are they accessible? Now, what, in my own definition of accessibility, these are the key things. Number one, if something is accessible, then it should be affordable. Secondly, it should be non-discriminational. If I'm a woman and a Muslim, I do not allow a male gynecologist to touch my body. Do you have a female one? That is accessibility. The moment you do not have one, then I'm not accessing. And actually, I don't have the freedom you think you gave me. Physical access. Physical access.
Time up. Conclude.
A minute. Thank you. Physical access. Imagine if somebody is running an ambulance from northern Uganda to Mulago. How long it could take them? You reach dead, trust me. Then acceptability. In some areas, they will not accept you because of who you are. In Uganda, it exists, starting with a particular thing that you are a young man. In addition to the rest, charged more. And as a young man, this is a socio-economic hardship that is actually hindering my access to a lot of services. When a government doctor sees me in a suit in a medical facility, they want money because they feel I'm not vulnerable. They feel I have money to pay for the services. Meanwhile, government schools, government hospitals are not for the vulnerable. They are for Ugandans, even if you can afford. That's why if Zambia fails, private hospitals fail, where do you go? It's Mulago. There is no reason as to why you should give me access. In going there and you're giving me, Panadol no longer works. This normal paracetamol extra. Quality is key. Wakiso, over 256 schools, feeding into only 16 secondary schools and one government. Then the forgotten boy child who I advocate for. I went to a school, as I conclude, Honorable Speaker. The best student was a girl, but they also had a position for the best girl. So they're already assuming the girl will not be the best. Imagine. Then I asked them, why not give now the opportunity to the best boy since we have a best girl? And they were like, no, we shall give it the second best. Meanwhile, we are sitting on a bomb. Anytime it's blasting. If you don't empower the boy child, he's the tomorrow's defiler, rapist, thief. The forgotten boy child. I'm not saying we should not empower women. No, it should be equal opportunity. It should be equity over equality. Lastly, please. Last year's National Youth Parliament. After a lady going through as speaker, guess what? The deputy